Hi, George here with JustOneDram.com for another whiskey review. Today I've got a bottle of Balvenie 14-year Caribbean Cask. It's been a long-time favorite of mine, although I've gone through quite a few bottles of it. Wandering dog. Even though I've gone through quite a few bottles of it, I haven't bought a bottle in about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, simply because, well, though it's a favorite, probably one of my favorites I've ever had, I've had it. I'd rather put the money towards new bottles of whiskey, things I haven't had before, because where's the fun in having the same thing every day? However, the reason I decided after so long to pick up another bottle is, well, one, because I love it and I haven't had it in a long time, and two, because I've noticed a slight change in packaging. Differences being the tube here. Actually, I've got the tube, the tin, the box. Not really a tin, but, well, kinda. It is significantly darker compared to an older. Here, let me see if I can. There. New, old. Some slightly different information on here. Anyway, let's take out the bottle. And the bottle itself, the label, used to be more of this off-white kind of cream color, and now it's this darker, brownish, tannish. I'm not sure exactly what to call the color. The label on the bottle itself is a bit different and contains a little bit different of information. Unfortunately, I don't have an empty old bottle with a label still on it right now to show you. But something else I noticed strikingly different is that the old bottle came with a nice little booklet, or pamphlet, if you will, showing, of course, some marketing stuff, some other things in their line, story and information about the distillery and their malt master, how they have traditional floor maltings, on-site cooperage, a guide to nosing and tasting whiskey, and more marketing stuff about their Warehouse 24 online club thing. Anyway, don't have that anymore in there. Alright. Anyway, enough about the packaging, other than when you see new packaging, you can't help but to wonder, is what's in the bottle still the same? More times than not, yes, but with something that can change year to year in releases, it doesn't hurt to keep trying. Alright. Now let's see if an old favorite stood up to the test of time and stood up to my ever-growing palate. Gotta say, I don't like leaving. The Balvenie bottles have a really loose, it looks like instead of being heat shrunk, they just squeeze the foil on top. And I think it looks really messy, and I'd rather take it off. But by leaving this bit here, it's a really good dribble guard, because even though I think it looks a little unkempt up top here, there's nothing that bothers me more than when you dribble down the side of the bottle and it ruins the label. It just really bothers me. Anyway, got my notes here to help me out. Does smell wonderful. This bottle clocks in as well as the old. There's been no change in proof. It's 43%, so 86 proof. Not a huge number there. I think it could stand for a few more points on that. On the nose, there's banana, toffee, baked apple, vanilla, butterscotch, candy, caramel, pear, lychee juice, or lychee fruit. It's tropical. You get a little bit of that molassesy rum feel, but not as much as you'd expect. It's still very distinctly Speyside single malt. Getting those orchard fruits, that baked, a little spiciness to it. It's very mellow, very relaxed in its nose, despite everything going on. Very sweet and confectionery. Anyway, onto the palate. It's creamy. There's vanilla. Like a prickly pear. It's toasty oak. More of that mellow rum molassesiness to it. It's a little grassy. Kind of like a grassy New Zealand Sauv Blanc type of taste and feel on the palate a little bit. For you wine drinkers out there. There's a good balance between like the sweetness and some acidity to it. It's a bit of cinnamon. It's very vibrant and malty though. It's very trying to think of the right way to say this. It's very classic Speyside in feel. It's got that fruity orchard fruits. The fruity orchard fruits. It's that smooth, mellow, soft sweetness. Not getting as much rum character as I remember getting in the past. Still very prevalent, but not as much of a rum punch to it. Still very nice. The finish is that tingly, lightly tingly, more like that zesty, citrusy feel to it, like that pucker. It's the tingle from a citrus pucker without the pucker, if that makes any sense at all. It's creamy, it's fruity, the finish has a lot of vanilla. Lingers in your mouth, not so much on its way down. You get a little bit of the rum feel on the finish. Definite. They do call it the Caribbean cask for a reason. It definitely has Caribbean rum feel to it. There's some other parts of the world that have some fantastic rum that slightly different character than classic Caribbean rum, but tastes very. The rum notes you do get, or I am getting from it, are very classically Caribbean, that island feel, if you will. Anyway, I feel like this whiskey's still definitely up there, and it's stood the test of time. It's stood up to my evolving palate, and I still regard it as one of my favorite bottles of whiskey. However, I feel like some of the rum character could be a little more prevalent. If there could be a little more alcohol in the bottle, I think 43% is an okay place to stand, but maybe a few more percent, maybe 46% would be a little more advantageous to this whiskey. And got another bottle of Balvenie here. They're definitely not afraid to go a little higher in proof. However, this 47.8% bottle is their single barrel 15-year sherry cask. So, being single barrel and all that, they usually do put a little more punch into those bottles, but Balvenie's definitely not afraid to put a little more alcohol in the bottle. So, I would love it if they did something like that with a rum cask or the Caribbean cask. Anyway, still outstanding marks for this. I'd say I'd give it a solid 88 points. Could definitely break the 90 threshold with a little more alcohol and maybe a little more time in the rum cask, because it hasn't been 14 years in the rum cask. It's been extra matured in the rum casks. So let me see here. I don't recall it saying how long they've kept it in the rum cask itself, but yep, I'm not seeing it. Yep, doesn't say on any of the packaging here. I feel like it could have used a little more time in the rum cask to get a little more character from it, and think that maybe the rum cask has been used for, I don't know. I'm not going to get into speculating, but it just doesn't have as much of that punchy rum feel that I'd like. However, I will say it is very well balanced, and maturing things in rum cask can often add a little too much rum character, and it's probably best to have too little instead of too much. But I'd like a little bit more, just a little tiny bit more. Maybe a little more time, maybe even just an extra month in the rum cask from whatever they're doing. I think that would improve it quite a bit. Anyway, 88 points, still among my favorites of all time. Their malt master, David Stewart, still an inspiration and an idol. Still brilliant work. Anyway, before I start rambling, time to finish this off. Have a great day. Cheers. If you enjoyed the video, make sure subscribe, like, leave a comment saying what you thought of the review, what you thought of this whiskey, what you'd like to see reviewed. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, justonedram.com if I didn't already say that. All that social media nonsense. See ya.